What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Glad you're with us. And today we're going to be watching Lord of the Rings The Two Towers. It's about time we got back to the franchise. But this won't be your typical first reaction. It's a lot more commentary based. So just want to give that short disclaimer out before we get into the video. And with that being said, let's get right into it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another late night, another epic. We're returning back to the Lord of the Rings franchise, except today we're going to be watching an extended version. Lord of the Rings, The Twin Towers, extended version. And, I have watched the theatrical version a couple of times, maybe probably under 10, but still there's quite a bit that I remember. I do well up in one specific battle sequence where Gandalf, the white is reintroduced. So I am looking forward to that. Just be aware that I do well up, and if I do cry, that's why. But I don't know how many times I've seen the remastered version, maybe once. But other than that, I'm just excited to go back into the franchise. And this will be, again, like the first video with the Fellowship of the Rings, more of a commentary rather than a reaction. And yeah, just wanted to have that as the base from the jump. This film is going to be quite long. It's going to be around 3 hours, 30 minutes. So I will try to have as much in the final output. But yeah, any type of support that you want to send, whether it's just watching through it, whether it's committing to a like, a comment, sharing, a subscribe, whatever it is, I do appreciate you a lot. I know I look weird without a beard. I feel the same way, but we're gonna try something new with this look. And yeah, no Big Willie for today. I think he was too much of a chicken when it comes to, well, I should not really say that, but he is kind of scared of Gollum. And yeah, he just did not want to sit in for this one. But other than that, we're going to go right into the picture. And yeah, if you have anything to add on to this film, whether it be, things behind the scenes, whether to educate me on stuff I didn't know, if I get anything wrong, I can always count on you guys. So I'm very excited for this one. I already had one cup of coffee, having another one during the watch. But yeah, always pumped to get back into Lord of the Rings. And without any further delay into this film, we're gonna get right into it, because Captain, we are a-go. The score, the opening title, and just the environmental shots present such a good connective tissue like transition between the first and second to show how mellow it is. The feeling, Gandalf is gone, Boromir is gone, the Fellowship is separated. And so I have always thought, whenever I saw the Twin Towers, that they really connected it from the very start of the film to set the tone as to what came previously. Again, the choice to start with Gandalf in the second film is just brilliant. It pained everybody's heart to see him fall down, and now we get the continuation of what happened to him. They did such a good job with scaling to present it as like this epic fight.
Gandalf! What is it, Mr. Frodo?
Again, just the shot, the wide-angle shot of Gandalf and Balrog falling, that was so epic. Such a good shot.
It's very special, that. It's the best salt in all the Shire. It is special.
He was also a thoughtful guy. He is such a thoughtful guy, this Samwise Gamgee.
Real Elvis rope.
So special, so special. And by the way, I just realized I kept calling it the Twin Tower as opposed to the Two Towers. Please forgive me with that one.
More lambus bread.
I remember the first time I saw lemons bread, I so wanted to have a bit of it, and so we would replicate like different types of crackers to eat along.
I can smell it. We're not alone.
They went in circles. They almost got like 3 different weather conditions just to present the perfect time for Gollum to come. I'm not so sure if it was done intentionally, but certain shots and certain perspectives with Gollum almost make him seem so much larger than the hobbits.
Maybe he does deserve to die. But now that I see him, I do pity him.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, Gollum had a lot to do with the ring finally being destroyed.
The ring is treacherous. It will hold you to your word.
Yes. Under pressure.
I did not pick that up, you know, the fact that he actually swore on the precious.
So much for his promises.
This way, hobbits. Follow me.
You can't help but like him. Like, his performance is done so well by Andy Serkis, this dual personality. And he's so convincing on screen that he almost steals the scene when he's there.
Fine. It was just an act. An act? See? Fooled you too.
I don't even remember them being treated that harshly.
Their pace has quickened. They must have caught our scent.
Hurry!
I think in general, out of the 3 timelines that, well, 4, including Gandalf, that everybody is following, I think this trio always seems to have been the coolest one to follow.
We will drive the machine of war with the sword and the spear and the iron fist of the orc.
Saruman's industry of war. Interesting to see, again, the development of Isengard into these 2 mega towers that are such a formidable opposition.
If we don't defend our country, Saruman will take it by force.
That is a lie.
Wormtongue is so good. Such a convincing part.
Too long have you watched my sister. Too long have you haunted her steps.
What a cut. Just following his eye movement to the sister.
What's making that noise?
The trees.
They are not for eating.
Fresh Hobbiton meat is tempting.
Just a mouthful. A bit off the flank.
That's the way to show your business. No means no. Surely they don't mean any threat until they're surrounded.
What business does an elf, a man, and a dwarf have in the Riddermark?
Not just any man.
Do you see 2 hobbits with them?
It would be small. Only children to your eyes.
We left none alive.
Especially, you know, what they did to their king? Are you kidding me? They would have killed everyone. Leave no one alive.
Look for your friends. But do not trust to hope. It has forsaken these lands.
Man, the 2 towers just seems like a complete Act 2. And I've always thought of the 2 towers as just that. You know, Act 1 is the Fellowship. Act 2 is 2 towers. Act 3 is, Return of the King. But yeah, 2 towers, it's not for the faint of heart.
Abueneth.
I know he injured himself in that with that kick.
Their bonds were cut.
I've always liked Aragorn investigating. There's such a natural feel to it. This specific chase scene in Fangorn Forest, you know, it was so worthwhile to see what happens eventually to, you know, the orc.
Run, Merry!
Well, lucky he didn't stomp on Merry.
Giant boot!
It's justifiable to have that doubt. Maybe or maybe not.
Orcs don't know it. They go round for miles and miles. Come quickly.
It really presents the reason why the orcs don't go through this, you know, marsh. This creeped me out when I first saw it.
He tries to choke us.
That's how you offend Sam.
Never. Let's go.
Don't touch me.
You sympathize with Gollum. You know, also to the point where Frodo later empathizes with, you know, Gollum, just because, you know, they've both gone through it, and Frodo is going through it. Oh, I remember this. As soon as the eyes open, there's that sound beat. Ah, I don't remember that. It was Gollum pulling him out instead of Sam. Huh. Okay, Gollum really served a pivotal role in this whole thing.
Gollum?
Don't follow the lights.
Gollum! Mr. Frodo! Are you alright?
See, that's big for Frodo. Gollum saved his life. He could have just left him inside.
He said your life was a sad story.
They do not see what lies ahead when sun has failed and moon is dead.
And the riddle section was, if I'm not mistaken, heavily a part of the Hobbit franchise.
My name.
They did such a number on him that he forgot where he came from, forgot his actual name.
Wolves! Race on wolves!
The ring wraiths were always so... They looked like bosses.
Full of memory. And anger.
Perceptive Legolas.
The elves began it. Waking up the trees. Teaching them to speak.
Talking trees.
I didn't know that it was the elves teaching the trees.
Do not let him speak. He will put a spell on us.
How powerful the White Wizard is.
Who are you?
Show yourself!
Oh, I remember the first time when I saw Gandalf the White. Oh boy, was that something. And very much like the Transfiguration, right?
You fell.
Through fire and water.
Fire and water, so biblical, like falling into the depths of hell.
That was my name. Gandalf. I am Gandalf the White.
Was there like a Saruman the Grey at one point? And what happens... I don't necessarily remember what happens until the task is done.
In one thing you have not changed, dear friend. You still speak in riddles.
Or shall we say parables?
The Ents are going to wake up and find that they are strong.
Strong.
Wait, is that why he just let Merry and Pippin go? Because he knew eventually this would, you know, like this is the destiny of the Ents and Fangorn Forest. Oh, I remember the white horse. Horses are my favorite animal, and this always had an impression on me when I saw Gandalf the White call the horse.
Shadowfax.
What was impressive was that was all one shot. Shadowfax.
Many to call,
What an understanding Ent even takes care of them, has such a nice voice to sleep to.
His hold over King Theoden is now very strong. Sauron and Saruman are tightening the noose.
Why was it so important for Rohan to be attacked by Sauron and Saruman, you know, seeing as things to come?
He's not alone. Sam went with him.
Did he?
How did Gandalf the White just appear in the Fangorn forest? How lucky were they that they were able to camouflage themselves? But I will say this: all the army men, the outfit design in this film, in these Lord of the Rings franchise, is stellar.
I do not ask you to come with me, Sam. I know, Mr. Frodo.
That's why he still does it.
There's another way, more secret, a dark way.
Why haven't you spoken of this before?
Because Master did not ask.
He's up to something.
Of course he's up to something. They had the clear way.
He's led us this far, Sam. Mr. Frodo, no. He's been true to his word.
He has been true to his word. Give him the benefit of the doubt, but Sam is the moral compass. You know, he knows. There's no wavering with him.
You just said something treeish. No, I didn't. I was just stretching.
This scene doesn't even come to my mind. Like, the whole stretching thing.
I'm pushing 3-7. 3-8.
It's the water. Could very easily have killed them. Struggling to remember if Entwives ever makes an appearance in the franchise.
Your son, he is dead. My lord.
Doesn't know friend from foe, or doesn't even know his own kin. Yeah, great line delivery by Carl Urban. But, just even seeing Gandalf the White come back into Rohan, that it's... I can't wait.
So cold, like a morning of pale spring, still clinging to winter's chill.
Though I remember that line delivery so well, especially when he says "so cold." Your words are like poison.
Poison.
Yeah. Yeah. Wormtongue, man. Even in the games, I think he appears in the games. Like he's something else. And then watching the Rohan flag just fly about as they come across. So well done. As if prophetic. Rohan might seem like it has fallen. People inside seem like they have fallen. It's divided, except the king has returned.
I cannot allow you before Theoden King so armed, Gandalf Greyham. By order of Grima Wormtongue.
Yes, and clearly these are the men that are still loyal to Theoden, as opposed, and Wormtongue, under Saruman. So we clearly see the divide in the Rohan army.
You would not part an old man from his walking stick.
Not any mere stick to a white wizard.
My lord, Gandalf the Grey is coming.
Oh, until he unveils the grey cloak.
Ill news is an ill guest.
Be silent. Keep your forked tongue behind your teeth.
I'm a little bit confused why he called him Stormcrow.
I release you from the spell.
Oh, and then he laughs, mocking him.
I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is drawn from a wound.
How can such glory be hidden? Immediately Saruman is matched. Interesting. Why bleeding from the eye?
I know your face.
Oh, those words are like honey.
Breathe the free air again, my friend.
So appropriate, the line, the free air again, my friend, to go along with the Rohan theme.
Your fingers would remember their old strength better if they grasped your sword.
Oh, how could he forget his sword and that little symblet with which always reminded me of like a heart.
No, my lord! Let him go. Enough blood has been spilled on his account.
And wait till he hears about his son. That's one of the heartbreaking moments.
Where is Theodred? Where is my son?
I like how he looked into the camera for that one. Never picked up on that, but, interestingly asking us the question as we saw all of it while he was in Saruman's, grasp.
On Meduselde, that
Certainly not the best way to be reintroduced into the free world again to find out your son died.
Theodred's death was not of your making. No parents should have to bury their child.
That used to be one scene that got me, because it is such a true line.
Open war is upon you, whether you would risk it or not.
When last I looked, Theoden, not Aragorn, was king of Rohan.
Oh, the words that will come back to, prove that wrong.
At first light on the 5th day, at dawn, look to the east. Go.
Oh boy, does he come. His search is most definitely not in vain, because he comes with an army.
I was raised in Rivendell. For a time.
At some point, all of the Rangers need to grow up in Rivendell if that's their ability. They're walking out like Aragorn.
They will be slow. They will have women and children with them.
Which is where Gandalf said that would be the dangerous spot.
You have to fight it. I know what I have to do, Sam. The ring was entrusted to me. It's my task. Mine. My own.
It's nothing but truth that Sam is talking here.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
Not listening. Not listening.
Smart way to show Smeagol and Gollum's conversation by the angle, but such distinct differences in personality.
Leave now and never come back.
His final warning when he says that, he's looking directly at us.
You'll make him sick, you will. Behaving like that.
Oh, I remember this. Sam the cook. One instance he can use those seasonings.
Give it to us raw and wriggling. You keep nasty chips.
It's an Oliphant.
Talk about the one last war. I forgot how big the size that he was accumulating of an army.
What lies or threats led him on this long march from home? He would not rather have stayed there.
Interesting. The evil that just dilutes the decision making.
It's the beards.
And this in turn has given rise to the belief that there are no dwarf women.
The very necessary relief comedically, rightfully so with Gimli, talking about dwarf women.
Gimli?
No, I couldn't. Really couldn't.
Wait, what was in the pot of soup that he couldn't? Not a good liar.
My uncle told me a strange thing. It was said that your race had passed into legend.
There are few of us left. The Northern Kingdom was destroyed long ago.
It would be interesting to have a list of characters, whether I've seen them or not, that because I'm not conscious of the specific rangers, the Dunedain rangers.
I will not leave my daughter here to die.
She stays because she still has hope.
She stays for you. She belongs with her people.
Hope must have been long gone, well, at the time, until he, well, becomes the rightful heir of Gondor, of Isildur.
You must lead the people to Helm's Deep, and make haste.
I can fight!
No!
Well, in the end, it pays off. She eventually does. I remember that, the way Legolas got on the horse. What an impression. Boy, dwarves can take a lot. Imagine how much he could bench press.
Aragorn!
What surprised me was that Aragorn even survived such a tall, well, such a long fall down.
Get the wounded on horses. The wolves of Isengard will return. Leave the dead.
Leave the dead. I remember that look Legolas gave. You know, just him holding that jewel.
We're safe, my lady.
Oh, they don't know what Isengard has coming for them. That look, just another one she might have cared about, or who she did care about. Another one gone.
Would take a number beyond reckoning, thousands to storm the keep.
Tens of thousands.
But my lord, there is no such force.
Just wait. He's like, how will you do it? How will you do it? He's like, just wait. Helm's Deep will fall.
To war!
That tear from Wormtongue was the beauty and such care, the multitude ready for war. What's up, everyone? Just a short break from the film. I want to show you some pictures from this book that I had from earlier on. And we do have Big Willie with us in this short break. But from this book, you know, The World of Tolkien, mythological sources of the Lord of the Rings, I just want to give, you know, some, you know, pages out with some spectacular imagery. This book has quite the detail in terms of the, you know, the different events when it comes to this specific film. By the way, if you have not seen The Fellowship of the Rings, I did do a commentary on that, which you can, I'll have a link up here or whatever have you that can take you to that video if you're interested in it, to see some of my comments. But here's a few images that are somewhat connected to this film that really jumped out to me, and I want to share them with you. One is obviously Gandalf. I'm going to show it to the best of my ability, but yes, that is Gandalf and Shadowfax. Yeah, let's see. Right there. Well, not covering Big Willie's face, well, portion of it. Yes, it's just a beautiful image. That's one. Here is another one of Gollum. So there's a specific, you know, portion throughout this book, specifically for golems and ghouls, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there is another picture, beautiful picture, might I add. This, I'm assuming, you know, I've not read through this portion yet, but I would assume this is, you know, him and Mordor. So just take a look at that. It's beautifully drawn. It really captures the essence of Smeagol / Gollum. And the last one that I want to show is this beautiful puppy of, you know, Rohan's flag, a major army, right? Check that out. I hope you can somewhat see the detail in this beautiful rendition. But yeah, just flipping through some of the pictures and then getting to know some of the, you know, background knowledge, especially well, how the title says, mythological sources of the Lord of the Rings, and how, Tolkien, where he got all of this. But yeah, that's the book. That's the world of Tolkien, mythological sources of the Lord of the Rings. Really, really rich stuff. I'm very eager to read it myself. This was by David Day. I'm just going to give you a picture of the spine just in case you're interested in checking it out. Maybe it's there in your local library, or you can get a cheap digital copy. Not that this is sponsored or anything. I just had this book and I said, you know what, why not just share it? And you know how cool it is, because this franchise is beloved and it's very rich in its, source material. But yeah, glad to share that with you. Let's get back to the video. Boy, did the horse learn quickly and attach itself to Aragorn. The fact that it would come out all the way here and rescue him.
If Sauron is defeated and Aragorn made king and all that you hope for comes true, you will still have to taste the bitterness of mortality.
Oh, that she'll be more than willing to sacrifice that.
Until all the world is changed and the long years of your life are utterly spent.
Interesting, again, she's looking at us almost to side with her on the decision that she makes, knowing that it's probably the perfect decision.
Sauron will use his puppet Saruman to destroy the people of Rohan. Isengard has been unleashed.
Isengard has been unleashed. It does seem like an uphill battle, and to send your daughter to the Undying Land seems like the perfect thing to do, until they know the hearts of and what Gandalf is going to bring.
The young captain of Gondor has but to extend his hand, take the ring for his own, and the world will fall.
How easily the world could fall, and how tempting it is to capture the ring, especially Gondorians.
Sauron will strike us soon, and he will strike hard. He knows now we do not have the strength to repel him.
I would actually fear being in Gondor more.
Spies! Now wait just a minute! Well, if you're not spies, then who are you?
Well, they were sworn to secrecy, so they have to spill the beans.
We set out from Rivendell with 7 companions. 1 we lost in Moria. 2 were my kin. A dwarf there was also, and an elf. And 2 men. Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor.
Oh, those names, the names. Suddenly has his attention.
His horn washed up upon the riverbank. Not 6 days past. It was cloven in 2.
Poor Boromir, man. The best character.
A place of light and beauty and music, and so it shall be once more! Yeah!
It's so appropriate with him here again, but it's only a fading memory.
Osgiliath has been reclaimed for Gondor!
I like that. We even have the fellowship theme.
Today, life is good.
And a great and noble guy as well. He wanted the best for Gondor.
You give him no credit, and yet he tries to do your will. He loves you, father.
Do not trouble me with Faramir. I know his uses, and they are few.
Oof, harsh words from the father.
It's dangerous, I know. Ever the ring will seek to corrupt the hearts of lesser men, but you are strong.
Of lesser men, and still we know from retrospect Boromir's also falling to the temptation.
If there's need to go to Rivendell, send me in his stead.
You?
You?
I trust this mission only to your brother, the one who will not fail me.
Once Faramir, gets wind of the ring again, his own whole thing with wanting to please his father, then the rings call to him. He just finds his way.
Trust, Master. Come.
We must go now.
Interesting, he has that momentary, like, what is going on? Like, the blank stare.
Don't struggle! Smeagol, listen to me!
Master!
He trusted you.
Why does it cry, Smeagol?
That's messed up to see him sort of talk tender to himself.
You betrayed us! No! It's business! Leave us alone!
The hate for the hobbits is still real.
Use the ring, Mr. Frodo. Just this once. Put it on. Disappear.
Look at that. Even Sam is ready to, take the heat, sacrifice. Go on. You go out.
The ring of power within my grasp.
The ring of power within his grasp. Boromir's death was not in vain. I, your son, brought it to you.
It's such a burden. Will you not help him?
The very call to protect Osgiliath, Gondor, from the very place that is attacking, they're asking him to help get him to it, to destroy the ring, which he would want. The conundrum. What a shot. He's back at Helm's Deep. Well, not back at Helm's Deep, but he has finally gotten back there.
They have dollars. You look terrible.
Rightfully so. When he gets his outfit changed, he looks fresh.
A great host, you say?
All Isengard is emptied.
How many?
10,000 strong at least.
Well, he was almost right on the point.
I want every man and strong lad, able to bear arms, to be ready for battle by nightfall.
And strong lad. The king is not even joking.
I have fought many wars, Master Dwarf. I know how to defend my own keep.
The Uruk-hai or something else. Even that, just the palm of the hand of Saruman, is, that's a symbol to fear. Well, not fear, but be aware of.
Gondor will answer.
Gondor? Where was Gondor when the Westfall fell? Where was Gondor when our enemies closed in around us? Where was Gondor?
Well, you have a Gondorian right in front of you. Wait until Gandalf comes back.
A time may come for valor without renown. Who then will your people look to in the last defense?
Let me stand at your side.
Well, she's not really giving a lot of credit to the woman who are keeping charge inside. Well, that wide shot really made it, seem, at least in the theatrical version, it always makes it seem like a close quarter, except for that wide shot really shows how deep they had to go.
Nedin Dagor hen Urir Othari. Natha Dagathyr.
Then I shall die as one of them.
Imagine hearing that out of context.
Where is the horn that was blowing? They have passed like rain on the mountains.
The good old days of Rohan. That's what he remembers. Now he has to, he just wakes up and, doesn't even know what's the feeling of a king.
The men are saying that we will not live out the night. They say that it is hopeless.
What a word to be going around.
There is always hope.
Well, imagine that in remembrance, if let's say if the king's hypothetical was true, to say that they had fought alongside the Lord Aragorn with a normal sword. But they would be remembered. This will be a valiant effort.
It's a little tight across the chest. And just when they thought, where's the elves?
You are most welcome.
I like just when Legolas went to embrace him, suddenly everybody turns. And here we have one of cinema's best nighttime wars, battles, whatever you might call it, the Battle of Helm's Deep. A movie unto itself. Super graphic. Not for the faint of heart, but really good either way.
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
Let's hope they last the night.
Well, there's hope in the morning. For you shall receive none. That's one way to stretch the bow even further. And what's cool is that it's Aragorn giving the command.
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you? Or would you like me to find you a box?
You know when Legolas said he sees fear in their eyes, all I see in Legolas' eyes is like this is his sport. Whether it be the rain, whether it be the nerves, it's about to start. They're bringing hell. Even the tone, the coloring, it has a very gloomy blue and like a dangerous orange, like to the side, and so it's an interesting combination. Well, their armor and their shields are thick, so, even with the normal arrow, they're not going to go down that easily. The way he moves his own sword, that Uruk-hai, completely wants to take off their head. I remember one of my friends had that action figure. It looked so cool.
I'm on 17!
That's the comedic relief within a heavy battle.
We have just agreed.
Well, the agree part was pretty quick.
We never say anything unless it is worth taking a long time.
A long time to transcribe any message. It has to be worth saying. But in this instance, why should they get involved?
Is this it? Is this all you can conjure, Saruman?
As if he does not see his own men and the elves, until he knows the drainage system completely. It's like, the weak point of Helm's Deep is busted into. He's feeling on the high ground, I guess. That's rather unusual for Legolas. 2 shots and still not dead. Me and my brothers used to call that Uruk-hai the Olympian. Gimli completely, ready to throw himself into the line of fire. And that's what makes, an example of the dwarves, if Gimli was a representative, why they're such an amazing race. I did not see that, but that scene where Aragorn was running with the elven army, that was kind of, foreshadowing things to come in the 3rd film with the undead army.
We don't belong here, Merry. It's too big for us. What can we do in the end?
I like that the Shire theme just comes in, so softly, saying, come back to the Shire. You know what's awaiting you. The warmth, the beautiful sun.
And all that was once green and good in this world will be gone.
There'll be a Shire no more.
There won't be a Shire, Pippin.
Yeah. If anything, that should be alarming. The fact that Legolas has no more, arrows in his quiver means there are a lot. I think it was at this point, even seeing him die, this respected, elven, let's say, general or master or like the battalion chief, even seeing him die, it came to a realization that, this is a serious battle. Anybody at any moment, something can happen to them. I would admit, very honorable, very brave of Theoden to have done that, but at the same time, what if he died?
Toss me. I cannot jump the distance, you'll have to toss me.
His do or die attitude is so refreshing. That angle, just seeing the ladders come back up, it almost seems like an endless amount. And like, if so far this is what they have been, putting up with, there's a lot more coming. The strength Legolas must have to pull that rope.
Pull them back! Fall back! Fall back!
Not the easiest thing to see a king swallow back his own words. Is this it? Is this all Saruman the Great has? Well, but at the same time, kind of knew this was coming.
The ring will not save Gondor. It is only the power to destroy. Please, let me go.
Well, if he's weighing the options, what more does he care about? This young hobbiton, say, telling them of the power of the ring not to save Osgiliath and Gondor, or trying to get his father's approval. I would probably go with the latter.
Come, my friends. The Ents are going to war.
I've always thought this. Yeah, that we go to our doom most likely, but I've always thought this, my opinion, but their decision to go to Isengard was sort of quick. Yes, despite like what had happened to their friends and their family. But there was such how would I say, the characteristics of the Ents were like these old, wise, people that, took their decisions very heavily. It took them a long time to talk. But at least in the theatrical version, it sort of seemed a little bit quick, at least to my recollection.
Take them to my father.
Interesting choice to leave everything silent and then suddenly take them to my father. But he knows the ring wraith is coming.
After swearing an oath to protect him, he tried to kill him! The ring drove your brother mad!
Sam was brave enough to say it, to say, hey, this ring is going to make you all mad. It's not going to help you. Such a distinctive sound for the Nazgul that I wonder what did they use for the folly. Well, there's the valor. There's the valor Aragorn was talking about, is to comfort them and to give them hope that they're going to see another day.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
Ride out with me.
This is the point where I start getting goosebumps.
Look to my coming at first light on the 5th day. At dawn, look to the east.
When I mentioned in the beginning, one scene that usually chokes me up, it's this specific scene when Gandalf comes back. 5th day, the east.
Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the Red Dawn!
What an epic profile. Wow. Just that sight They made it past nightfall.
Not alone. Rohirrim!
Okay, so that's the term for the the soldiers of Rohan. What a triumphant, ambush, shows how we say from the east, and the light to sort of blind them. His entire Saruman's entire industry going to naught. I also thought that was funny, the one ant just going to
What are you doing?
Here we have Frodo on sort of autopilot, shall we say. And I guess this specific shot, or like to Faramir looking at it, presents a good understanding of the power of the ring and its control over the mind, and like Frodo doing something that does not make any sense.
It's me.
Nothing can sting Sam, shall we say.
I can't do this, Sam.
Oh boy, even the drop of the elvish sword, it's the weight of the ring, how much it bore on Frodo.
How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened?
Interesting to hear Sam say that, because it's just a different vantage point and perspective. One hand, on the other, there's victory.
Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going.
The opportunist in Sam is what we all need.
But there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
Again, interesting that we have, a shot of Smeagol when he says that there's still some good left, and Faramir obviously listening to that as well.
If you let them go, your life will be forfeit.
Then it is forfeit. Release them.
And that's one thing he can share with Boromir, is that they ended up defending, helping the hobbits, Frodo and Sam, move forward. And that can be something they both rest on.
I myself am sitting pretty on 43.
Oh, there we go. Exactly, he was already dead.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Well, if he is taller, Merry did drink a lot of it. Who even knew? They had their own, storeroom.
Could be a distant relative.
Oh, I get it.
And even if they're true about the distant relative part, there's smoke in them.
Master says we must go to Mordor, so we must try.
If only Faramir could go with them. But what I do like is that Faramir, has this sort of respect with Sam, which was cool to see.
May death find you quickly, if you bring them to harm.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he gives a smile at the end, which is just haunting.
It's very decent of you. Very decent indeed, Gollum.
Gollum is not gonna forget a betrayal.
You've left out one of the chief characters. Samwise the Brave. I want
Of
to hear more
course.
about Sam.
Yeah, how could you leave Samwise the guy? Samwise the Brave out.
Frodo wouldn't have got far without Sam. Now, Mr. Frodo, you shouldn't make fun. I was being serious. So was I.
Hey, the least shall be the greatest. Just a gardener, and he's Samwise the Brave.
Put out his eyes and make him crawl.
hobbits!
That's the scary part, is where Smeagol, agrees with Gollum.
Once they're dead. Come on, hobbits!
Oh boy, chilling.
Follow me.
Again, we're sending them off on a major cliffhanger, great connective tissue between the second and the third. And the ultimate journey to Mordor. Thoughts? Boy, is that again, if there was any indication for what an epic was, you would find it in the dictionary under Lord of the Rings, the franchise. But the Two Towers, it is sort of the darker one out of the three. As I mentioned, sort of the Act 2 within the trilogy. But most definitely stands its own ground, introduces a lot of great characters, most namely, Wormtongue, Theoden, Faramir, Gandalf the White. I'm not so sure if the Ents and the Treebeards, they're my favorite. They are a section in the film, and they do provide sort of a breather. Not so sure how I feel ultimately about, this is me being very honest, about them being intercut with Helm's Deep, the Battle of Helm's Deep, because it's such a great sequence, and then we go sort of to their group discussion and Merry and Pippin, and also like their overtake of Isengard is very quick. But again, they let go of a dam, so what more? What more is there? Like, that's a pretty good attack. That's a pretty good offensive move. But, some great moments within Gollum and Smeagol having a lot more screen time, developing his character a lot more, being this conniving, thieving, scheming little dude who, again, has his moments where we feel for him, we pull for him, we understand what he has gone through, this creation of Gollum as part of the torture for where the ring is, and Samwise Gamgee's whole relationship and Frodo, except with this one, they're taking more of a backseat. It's more Rohan and the three, and really Aragorn being set up for becoming the king of Gondor and the Battle of Middle-earth. It was good to see Gollum get a lot more screen time, to see Eowyn, but yeah, with the extended sequence parts, there were sections where I knew, like, okay, this was the extended, like, okay, we've moved to the theatrical to an extended portion. I will be honest, I don't know if the extended portions, like, the theatrical cut was really well done. Very well done, because it had everything. Like, there's no particular, I'm pretty sure you can pinpoint a particular section where the extended sequence was kind of necessary, should have been there in the theatrical cut, but to my immediate knowledge, again, it's been quite some time since I've seen either or, the theatrical or the extended, but like, not many of them, like you would say, this had to have been in the theatrical cut. It's more an extension to it. But like the difference being, like, let's say the Zack Snyder versus the DC cut of this recent film where it was 4 hours long. I'm forgetting the name. There's certain sections in the Snyder cut where you're like, okay, that makes sense why it's there. We understood the choices, the different designs and stuff. But, even with that taken, even with the extended cut, like, out of the picture, everything, like, even Faramir's father, if I'm not mistaken, he does play a lot more of a bigger role in the third film. But, out of the three, out of the three, the third one is the one I least remember because it's the one I've least watched. So the next run where we watch The Return of the King is going to be, more reactionary because there's a lot that I don't remember, although I've watched it before. Seen Fellowship of the Ring a lot of times because it's my favorite. Like I said, The Two Towers is more of a heavier film to watch, just being that it's such a dour, dark, episode within the trilogy. But again, so many good decisions. Again, the battle of Helm's Deep is, I regard, the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi fight at the end of Phantom of the Menace as one of the best choreographed fight sequences played to music. It's very high up there for me because is how like when I watched it as a young kid. But the Battle of Helm's Deep is in a class of its own. The score, the oracais, moments that you just will never forget, just going for it, and the explosion of the sewer, the tunnel system, and how everybody felt. It was grand, but you got so many distinct vignettes and sort of profiles expounding on character of Aragorn, of Gimli, of Legolas. Legolas is sort of the minor out of the three. For me, it's Aragorn, it's Gimli, then it's Legolas. My brothers like Legolas. The other one likes Gimli. I specifically like Aragorn for how much, extension of a character he has in this film. Obviously so, because the third film is really a lot about him. But again, really good to see Gandalf the White back. I do wish we had a lot more screen time with Christopher Lee. Saruman, that's one thing I liked about the Fellowship of the Ring, was that he was so much in it. We got to see, Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Christopher Lee in the same scene, and these two powerhouse of actors with these two powerhouse of characters, interacting. But at the same time, whatever we got, of Gandalf the White is purely magical, and especially when he comes from the east with Carl Urban, that always had me for some odd reason, because the Battle of Helm's Deep really got me into the fact that, oh man, are we going to see the light of day here? And sort of, Merry and Pippin with the end sort of provide the catalyst for this return. But it's surely Gandalf coming from the east at that specific hour, as he had mentioned prophetically, that he comes down this major hill and just swipes them out and brings victory. Well, not that he brought victory, but sort of assisted in the victory. Yeah, but even that, that's just about all I have. Do forgive me, I've probably had a lot of things that I got wrong, naming-wise, naming convention-wise. Some things that I was mixed up on. So there's a lot to remember from this franchise, and what more when you go into the fiction, the novelization of this trilogy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the comments. I know you guys are gonna bring fire in there. I'll be watching. I'll have my attitude ready to be educated. But until then, and until we get into the third, we're going to hope for the Return of the King to come soon. But yeah, until I see you in the next one, take care, enjoy cinema, and yeah, stay fresh. Until I see you in the next one, my friend, take care.
What's up, you cinephiles?
Thank you very much for making it to the very end. Me and Big Willie don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you. Now, if you'd like to show your support to us, you know what you can do up here. You can smash that button, really just smash it. And you know, if you would like to check out some more content, they're all curated by days up over here and playlists. So, you know what? We hope you're having a great day. Don't crumble and just continue to smile and be a good bastion of cinema.